Lights out.
Yep.
I've been flying since I was about 10. They started me young, so it kind of almost happened by accident that they, in Wanaka, this in South Island, New Zealand, they have lots of warbirds, old war aircraft and trainers and all that stuff. And there's an old biplane down there that you can book flights in. And so parents for a birthday present, my 10th birthday, booked me a flight. And I absolutely loved it. I'd already been obsessed with planes for quite some time before that, so it was just a dream come true. And then I was like, I want to do another one. They're like, okay, fine, sure. So the next week I did another flight in an actual training aircraft. My parents just thought it was like a different type of warbird or something. Yeah, I did a flight in that as my first lesson, and then when I got to the end, they were like, oh, he's just had his first lesson. I think both my parents were like, what? But yeah, it kind of happened by accident, but a happy accident, I guess, as it led to lifelong passion. It is a sailplane, so no engine, you're using the weather to stay up. There's all sorts of ones. They all look very similar. Some of those single-seaters or twin-seaters, and done quite a lot of flying in them. So I've done about 40 hours in gliders and about 90 in powered aircraft. So that's like 130 hours total, almost a week. Just when you think about it, for being 17, it's quite a lot. It was definitely when I was getting my license, you have to get a medical, which is class 2 if I remember correctly, which is quite extensive, covering all sorts of stuff like your hearing, your eyesight, and your dexterity is the main part of it, making sure you can control everything on the aircraft. And so obviously I had to disclose to the CAA, which is authorities, basically, that I have one hand. They're like, okay, if you can prove to us you can fly a plane, we will let you fly a plane. Which in New Zealand they're very good about that. It's more on a competency basis that if you can do it, they'll let you do it. So I had to basically film myself flying the aircraft with this hand and in this hand, because in a Cessna, what I usually fly in, this hand's on the stick here, it's like pulling in this way, and then this hand's on the throttle. So I had to show that in a video that I could control everything in emergency situations, and they were satisfied and I got that. So it was definitely harder to get, but it didn't stop me from getting it.
Boy.
Growing up with one hand, it was always like, it's all I've ever known, and I was born with one hand. I would probably say going into like daycare and then like first few years of school, that's when it started to, once you're more outside your home environment into the real world, I guess that's where it started to, people started to point it out, and I started to notice lots of people were pointing this out, what's the big deal about it, and that's when I figured that maybe I'm slightly different from the other kids. Noticing that I was different, my family, especially my parents and my dad in particular, they never let me use it as an excuse or like see it as anything different from normal. So in the house it was always quite normalized. I find the hardest thing was always, especially when I was younger, like people being very conscious of what I could or couldn't do. Like they'd be worried. So like if it was like a throw in football, they'll be like, oh, you can throw it in with one hand if you want. And it's like, well, can you at least give me a chance to try? It's never really been something used as an excuse. I would just always try something, and usually if I couldn't do it, I'd just think, oh, I can't do it. It would never really occur to me that maybe it's because of my hand. If I did ever think about it, I was like, well, it is what it is. It's not going to grow back. I guess that's an attitude I've had through most of my life. Like even to this day, a lot of things I don't really think about it and don't think maybe if I did have two hands, could I do it better? It's not really a thought that comes up just because it's not a reality that will ever happen. Don't let things hold you back, and back yourself, be confident in yourself, and surround yourself with supportive people and pursue what you want to do. If you put your mind to something and you work hard, you do the best you can, and that's all you can ask for, and you should be satisfied.